Would you like to learn some never before heard facts about Demon Slayer? I know you do. In this video, I'll give you some of the craziest and most mind-blowing facts about Demon Slayer that you probably didn't know. Be warned, if you haven't caught up to at least the third season of Demon Slayer, then spoilers ahead. So we all know Demon Slayer turned its movie into a TV adaptation and came in with some added scenes. One of which is when Tanjiro had to off himself to wake up. In the meantime, his intruder fell into a black abyss due to Tanjiro waking up, and it was Tanjiro's dream essence that saved him, guiding him to safety out of Tanjiro's subconscious. This scene does appear in the manga as well, but not in the movie. I did state this fact long ago in season 1 of our fact findings for Demon Slayer, that Tanjiro doesn't know how to do Nezuko's hair, and that's why it's always been long with a clip on it. Of course, doing his hair doesn't really take much work. All he does is just cut it and leave it as it is. But over time, Tanjiro learned from watching Mitsuri do Nezuko's hair, so now he's a pro at it. Gyome loves to play the flute. He's pretty good at it and mastered it as well. Pretty cool. Tengen's favorite food is fugu sashi. As you might have known, fugu is puffer fish, and this dish is made up of tiny sliced pieces of fish in a decorative fashion. Kanao has a habit of gulping when she saw her favorite food and drink in front of her. She seems to be unaware of this though. On volume 18's cover, Kanao was mistakenly drawn with her sword to the right side of her waist. Koyuharu made a statement apologizing for this after the volume's release, but then it was later on corrected. In chapter 100 of the manga, which is when Tanjiro was recovering from his battle after Gyutaro and Daki, Goto had said that Kanao was actually slaying demons since she was a child. Now, this statement is much heavier when you consider that Kanao was introduced to the story when she was only 16. She's already a child, which means that she's been slaying demons since she was in the single digits. According to the pamphlets given in select Japanese theaters for the Mugen Train movie, for Ruka and all the wives in the Rengoku household, a tradition of the women is that they would stare into flames during their pregnancy, and this would go on for hours. This is a charm to make sure that their child grows up big and strong. It also has a mythical explanation for why Ruka's eyes are crimson red. The tradition is called Kankagari. Kozo's wife is called En, and she is 2 years younger than him. The two of them are said to be a perfect couple. They even look alike. Do you know which of the 9 Hashira that we were first introduced to had been a Hashira the longest? Well, I have the answer for you. Mitsuri was one of the last Hashira to join, so we can leave her out. She's only been there for about a year. And we can cross out Muichiro and Shinobu, who's been there for about 2 years. Gyu and Rengoku had been there for about 4 or 5 years, and Sanemi for about 3 years. It's not really known when Iguro had joined up for about 6 years, leaving only one person left. Gyome has been a Hashira for 8 years, and that's amazing, considering how short of a lifespan a Hashira has. The knives that Hotaru uses to try to stab Tanjiro in his temper tantrums were actually made by Hotaru himself. These knives are noted to be extremely sharp and should never be used for cooking. Hotaru has wind chimes attached to his hat because he liked them since he was a child. Whenever he would throw a tantrum, the adults would use the chimes to calm him down. Hotaru's favorite food is mitarashi dango, and he goes out to buy some whenever he loses his temper. But that's not all. Kyogai was a fan of the Japanese Lendarium, The Legend of the Eighth Samurai. From this, he was inspired to work on his own biography. Kyogai's name contains the Kaien reading for loud and clear, resonant, to make a noise, sound, and echo, and also the Kaien reading for music of triumph. In Kimetsu Academy, Kyojuro is a history teacher. Because of his passion of teaching and his love of history, he began hurling his students and starting cavalry battles during class. He is loved by his students, and no one in Kimetsu Academy has terrible grades in history. It is revealed that Kyojuro does have a real life mod, like most of the characters are modeled after real people in the author's life, but the author didn't really say. Like all other Hashira, Kyojuro has a quirk or unnatural behavior, and that's he's too fast, meaning he always jumps to conclusions way too fast before knowing the full situation. Now, here's a secret about Kyojuro that was unveiled in episode 28. Kyojuro doesn't have a Suguko. It seems that his training was so hard that most simply run away, hence why he doesn't have one. Kyojuro's surname means purgatory. His first name contains the Kaien Yomi reading of the kanji for apricot and the Goen Yomi for both longevity and sun. And believe it or not, Kyojuro loves to watch sumo wrestling. Kyojuro's favorite food was also sweet potatoes. Every time he's he's eating it, he always yells out tasty or delicious. Additionally, his favorite side dish was salt grilled brie. Shinobu's blade was designed and created by the chief of the swordsmith village, Techi Techikawara. Shinobu can't stand any form of furry creatures, according to Gyu Tomioka. And wouldn't you know it that Gyu would know such a fact about Shinobu, as he's the only Hashira apart from Mitsuri who spends so much time around her. Shinobu's surname contains the kanji for butterfly. Her first name is written in such a way that it doesn't have any sentimental value, but then when it's translated to Mandarin characters, it means stealth or endure. Both of Shinobu's voice actors also shares roles, such as that of Emi Igawa from Your Lie in April, Yumiko Jabari from Kakegurui, and Therese from Rising of the Shield Hero. In Kimitsu Academy, Rui became famous overnight because he won a Cat's Cradle tournament. He even got a special article written about him in Kimitsu Town, and his particular facial moles became a hot topic on the internet because they were seen as cute. His full name is actually Rui Ayaki. Despite being killed, the powers that he bestowed on the family members didn't return to him. This could mean that he permanently lost his powers to the family members he shared them to who had been killed by demon slayers. It is revealed that contrary to his one-sided loss to Gyu, Rui was initially powerful enough to contend with a Hashira in battle, but his strength waned upon sharing his blood with members of the Spider family. The demon Mukago shares the same English voice actress as Mitsuri Kanroji, Kira Buckland. But did you know Enmu wasn't supposed to be a demon in the first place? You see, he was just a midnight snack for Muzan. But after Muzan heard all the praise that Enmu had given him, he had decided to turn him into a demon. As an adult, even though Enmu was not a doctor, he would misuse things like hypnotic therapies, as well as convincing his patients who didn't have long to live that they had fully recovered in their health. Even after they had realized that this was all a lie, he kept on doing these horrible scams over and over again. When Enmu was a human being, he had a tendency, since childhood, not to be able to distinguish between dreams and reality. This caused many problems for him and everyone around him. Nezuko is also incredibly good at rock, paper, scissors. When she and her brothers have to decide something and can't come to an agreement, they play rock, paper, scissors, which she always wins at anyways. Pretty underhanded if you ask me. Nezuko's favorite food is kompeto. This is Japanese colored sugar sweets shaped like tiny orbs with small bulges around it. In Kimitsu Academy, Obanai is a chemistry teacher. He has an allergy to women and always wears a mask. It's said that he keeps a snake around him in order to avoid contact with women. He often goes to Aoi's restaurant, but only ever orders tea. He would frequently ask if the girl with the braids is coming over. When his students fail tests, they are crucified to a post and shot at with bottle rockets. Don't think it gets more interesting than that. There is one fact that I'll spoil. All the Hashira are currently subscribed to Varistudiostv, and they're doing tryouts. So if you don't want to miss out on your chance to become a powerful Hashira yourself, hit that subscribe button with notifications on. Another thing that I noticed is that the Demon Slayer uniforms that we see are based off military uniforms of the time. For all those who's not familiar with Japanese history, the Demon Slayers looks like they're wearing school uniforms, like most Shonen Jump anime protagonists. But these aren't based off Japanese school uniforms, but rather the military garb at the time. Even stranger, school uniforms are actually modeled off the same military garb, rather than the other way around. It may seem that the show is portraying a light-hearted high school anime with these uniforms. In fact, in actuality, they're being just a little bit coy. Want to learn more amazing facts to level up your Demon Slayer knowledge? Click on one of the 2 videos on your screen right now, or join me again for the next Demon Slayer video. Peace out, stay safe out there.